Welcome back to Meet Me at the Bridge. In our first episode, we explored identity, belonging, and what it means to be Peranakan across generations. Following that conversation, I invited members of our community to participate in a poll about the Peranakan values that matter most to them. Firstly, thank you to everyone who took part in the poll. Nearly 60 people shared their thoughts and 4 values rose to the top: respect, cultural expression, heritage, and inclusivity. In this episode, I'm joined by my father, Alfred Chi Teck Yam, to explore these values through stories, memories, and reflections from our own family experiences. So grab a cuppa, settle in, and join us as we discuss the values that shape our culture, how we pass them on to the future generations, and how we continue to live them out today. I acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which this podcast was created, and pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. I also honor and offer my gratitude to our Peranakan ancestors and elders. This is Meet Me at the Bridge. So welcome, Pa, to Meet Me at the Bridge.
Thank you.
This is our second episode, and it's just wonderful that I could do this with you. So thank you for being here. For those who are listening in, this is my father, Alfred Chi Teck Yam. And we are a very close-knit family. We've grown up in a Peranakan household. And the whole purpose of Meet Me at the Bridge is to create the space for us to talk about our identity, belonging, community, and culture. And I wanted to open up this space for us to talk about cultural values. In the first episode, I talked about how culture needs to be lived, and that we can only do our money, our cooking, and our dressing. We can only do so much, right? Yes, that is all an expression of our Peranakan culture, but I believe that there is something deeper, and that's tied to cultural values. And I thought that being an elder in our community, and my elder, my father, I thought that maybe it's something that I could capture and really have your thoughts about our Peranakan cultural values.
You mean, how do we live it, is it?
Yes, how do we live it out in our day-to-day, in our everyday lives? Well, before this recording, as you know, I did a poll asking people what kind of Peranakan cultural values do they hold and live out. And we had 59 responses, so which is really quite good. And there were about 10 values that they could select, but then 4 stood out. And the 4 values are, and you'll love this part, respecting elders and others. And then the second one is creative cultural expression. So things like the arts, the dress and the stories and the cooking. And then there's connection to roots and heritage. That's the third one. And the fourth one is inclusivity and welcoming others. So what I want to do today is I want to go through those top 4 and really go deeper with you about how you were brought up and whether those 4 were your top 4 as well, or, it doesn't have to be, but I just want to talk about it.
Yep.
So maybe perhaps you could share stories of when you grew up. And I know my mama, I grew up in her household, right? But she was your mother. And how was it like for you?
I can speak a little bit of it. I'm not an expert, but I grew up in a Peranakan household, so I'm a true blue Peranakan. And I think I grew up with the values, and I have, I think, benefited from these values, and definitely I should be able to say something and also influence other people about these values.
Mm-hmm.
So respecting the elders, is it? That's the first one. Huh?
Mm.
So how were they expressed, in our upbringing?
Yes.
My answer to that is respecting elders, which is a very important thing in the Peranakan household itself, is that they were expressed at a very tender age.
Mm.
Even when you are young, about, maybe 3 or 4 years old, as long as you can understand what you're talking about. They already told us that, okay, when I follow my mom to visit the relatives and this sort of thing, they already indoctrinate in us that when you go and visit these people, you have to address them correctly. There's no such thing as say hi, like in Australia that we do. So you got to know the hierarchy, Yes. So in fact, the Peranakan has got a very good system.
Mm.
You see, where not only the hierarchy, you can identify, once you address a person, you can identify whether that person is from your father's side or mother's side, and at what level and all that. So, so it's quite a complex thing. But for a young kid, about 4 or 5 years old, I mean, it's quite a big hassle to remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to remember how to call it. All you remember is what to call this person. Yes.
Yeah.
Like we go and see the auntie, you got to say kopo.
Yeah.
Or ipo or whatever it is. So you just remember that word, you see. So they introduce it. So you go to see this place, there's ipo, must say ipo. So that's how I think it is expressed. At a very tender age, you are already,
Yes.
Yes.
So that's calling with their title.
Yeah.
Is a form of respect.
Yes.
Yes. And that's how we addressed our elders.
Yep.
Right now, nowadays, we call everyone auntie.
Everyone
uncle,
auntie, yes,
right?
Yes.
I guess it's better than calling them by their names. But I feel like we somehow have lost that title a little bit because it's so hard. It's so hard to remember.
Yes.
And then now when we have kids, we don't know what is the rank.
Yes.
We don't actually know what the system is.
That's true, yes. The system, as I say, is quite complex. Even I got now, I've lost touch. When somebody said, how do I call this person? I may have to think about it.
Yes.
Like those days, I straight away I can say, this is your kopo, this is your ipo, and all this sort of thing.
Yes.
So I don't blame the young generation, to go all out to think about all this. But nevertheless, we can still be respectful to the elders. Like in the West now, we can ask maybe your son, Toby, call auntie, you see. We don't just go there and say hi and, we don't address anything, just hi. But at least you address her as an auntie and an elderly gentleman uncle, So that is a form of respect, I think.
Yes.
Yes, that we do here now. Yes.
Speaking of the titles, did you see the video about how Peranakan Sayang, Elvin Un, had come up with a great song?
Yes.
So if you want to learn about the titles and this little system, Elvin Un has actually created a song to make it easy for us to remember.
Yes.
So I'll put the link in the socials.
Yeah, that's very great for Elvin to think of that, and and this is a song, so it's easier to remember that way.
It's very catchy too.
Yes.
Yes.
It's very good, Elvin. Yeah, very good.
So what other parts of how we grew up really was about living out that respect for elders?
Yeah, you mean how do we show respect in our home, right? Okay, as I said, the training is already started, when you're young. And so in our household, you see, we don't have to address the aunties or uncle. We are more or less with our parents, okay? And so we have to start with our parents. How do we respect our parents? That's the main thing. So in a household, normally we were told that, every morning when you get up, first thing you must tell them good morning. Good morning, Pa, or good morning, Mom, Yes. And then before you go to bed, we always say, good night, Pa, and good night, Mom. You see. So that is a form also of respect. So you tell them, that you're going to bed. You greet them when you're in the morning, you see. In fact, this is not only the Peranakan values, but I think values of us in the West. That's how the good morning came about, you see, and good night. But I think the Peranakan goes one step further. Not only good morning and good night, we also were told that when you go out the house, you must tell us that, Pa, I'm going out now to my friend's house or something like that. And then they will acknowledge, okay. Because to them, I think the rationale behind that is just to let them know that you are not in the house anymore. Because sometimes, the house can be big and then you can be everywhere in the house, but, looking for you. But if you tell them that I'm going out, so they know.
Yes.
You see? I mean, this is my thinking. It may not be right, but, it's a form of respect, but also a form of telling them that we're going out.
Yes.
Those days, there's no phone or what where you can go out somewhere and then you phone.
Yes.
Yeah, you can text and say, oh, Pa, I'm here,
Yes.
So you got to tell them verbally, I'm going out. So they are happy about that. And when you come back, also you acknowledge, Pa, I'm back home.
Yes.
So they know if they want to ask you to do something, oh, yes, he's upstairs or something like that, he's at home. So these are the things we have got to do, when you were young, you see.
There's one little thing one practice that I see often in our cousin's house. We didn't really practice it at home. I mean, not strictly anyway. And that is to call the elders to eat.
Yeah.
So mama makan, kongko makan.
Yes.
I see when I go to my cousin's house in the past at Heron Street, I did it because they did it.
Yes.
Because out of respect for them, I did it. But in our own household, we didn't. And this is the thing with values, isn't it? In different households, I got different teachings, I guess, and different upbringings. And it doesn't really matter that we follow everything so rigidly, but it is what works at home as well, as long as the elements are there, the elements of those values. So it's for example, like I think about it as every, the dish ponte is a very popular Peranakan dish, right? But in each household has got all the same elements. The taucho is there, the potatoes are there, the mushroom is there, the takyu is there. But each household has got slightly different taste and flavor. Some might like to fry the potatoes first. Some might like sweeter. Some might like more savory. So I feel like cultural values is a little bit like that.
Yes. Of course, everybody will be a bit different. It cannot be standardized, right?
Yeah.
After all, we are human and then, we cannot be exactly perfect. Yes. But the rationale behind calling, you see, that is what we want to know. Why? Why do they call? You see? And to me, I think that is because, like you said in Heron Street, Heron Street houses at that time not only house one family, but they may have the matriarch and then they've got the children. You see, 3 or 4 children, and that means to say 3 or 4 families staying in the same household, And Heron Street houses are big, and then they have got many people staying there. So one of the things, I mean, this is again, I also try to figure out what is this for, calling people, because you got so many, so you have got to call them to makan, you see. So it becomes like a habit, like, otherwise, some family may be missed out, I suppose, and especially the elders. So to let them know, like I suppose some families has got a gong, the gong,
Yes,
and then, it's makan time, you see.
Yes.
Yeah, but Peranakan family, they call and Tua Yi makan, Ji makan and all that,
Yes.
so everybody is there. But as you said, in our own household, we have got only 4 or 5 of us. So we maybe skip that portion of the respect, I suppose. It's also a respect, but it's not quite necessary. So that's how I figure it out, I mean, whatever we do, if we have a reason to it, we'll do, So this is the thing. Even when I was growing up, there are a few things which I think is irrelevant, Some of the Peranakan, so many things, some of them can be irrelevant. But at that time, what I think is irrelevant. But this is where you have got to go deeper, learn a bit more of the culture. Then you know, oh, it's not irrelevant. This is actually very relevant. Yeah. But when you are ignorant, you may think that, oh, it's not necessary. And you just skip it. You see. So this is, you have to look into it, whatever it is in life. Look deeper into it. Why should we do this? Why do we do that?
Yes, and then so it becomes more intentional.
Yeah. Then when you find that it's really very relevant, you'll do it.
Yes.
Yeah. But when you're ignorant of it, you say, oh, this is, superstition or nonsense. Why should we do it? Wasting of time. So.
Yes. I think that we need to be more self-aware about the values that we hold and the values that we want to hold. And I think as a young person growing up, I was told what to do. So I just did it.
Just to do it,
right?
Yes,
Just to do it out of respect for my elders, out of obedience, right? But as I grew up and became more independent, I had to think about what do I want to carry from home to go and live out in this world, to go to work, be part of other communities, to go to church or wherever, temple or whatever. And then after that, when I became a parent, then I had to decide what I want to pass down, right? And I think for me, the biggest part of where I started thinking about all this was when I became a mom.
Yeah, that's the time when you realize that, you have got to teach your children, right?
That's right. And values, there's all kinds of values and virtues, not just Peranakan ones. But now I'm thinking that a lot of these values that instilled in me came from Mama's upbringing. And when I did the poll, some of our cousins also said, oh, I remember Chimpo. She was amazing, not only an amazing cook, but also she gave us a really amazing advice and all that. And so that those values are being passed down all the time. And then when it gets to us, we decide how we're going to live it out. How did it shape you as an adult? So similarly, when you became a parent. Yeah.
I suppose any training that you do, even like you go to college or you go to university, they give you a training. So how do you feel after that? If it is, you had a training and you feel good, you feel more confident, you see? So for this cultural training, I think you feel, also you can feel that people respect you because you got good manners and this sort of thing. So that's how I feel that, this training is not a waste.
Yes.
Yeah,
It makes you a better person.
You make you a better person and more respectful. You become worthy of respect.
Yes.
Yeah, but if you are a person who is rude and this sort of thing without any manners, without respecting the elders, they will not respect you because respect is mutual, Yes. So it is a good training. It is something good. So that's why I like your podcast because this is a way to tell the people what are the things. As I say, if you're ignorant, you don't know what they are doing for, you won't follow.
Yes.
But if you know, you will follow. Why don't you want to be somebody who is respectful, right? Yes. But you can't be just respectful when you're so rude to people, you're every time angry with people, you don't respect other people. You cannot get respect, right? So this is the thing. So it's something good, it's a good value, very good value.
Well, we're talking here about sustaining our Peranakan culture, but my thing is also about the big C, the culture within our communities, within our workplaces. How we interact with another comes down to the values that we hold and values that we model, the values that we live out, because that's how we interact with one another. I just want to just a comment from the poll. I just want to share with you. Someone said this. So there's a part of the poll where I left a blank space for people to write their thoughts. So someone said, respect your elders, a value that has been imparted to me by my parents and elders. Be humble and respect the view of your elders. They might not entirely be correct all the time. But remember, your elder has had more experience. I believe, generally speaking, your elders mean well. I feel like being someone who is still considered young, but just turned 50, I feel that I can now understand the elders do mean well. They might not be perfect. They might not be correct all 100% all the time. But this is where we need to listen to one another.
Mm.
And in order for us to sustain that culture, then, we need to somehow come and meet in the middle. And that's the reason for this podcast too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but how do we learn about this culture? I think that's an important aspect. We have the culture. We have been taught.
Mm-hmm.
But how? How do you go about to teach your children? I think that is something very important.
Yes.
Right? I mean, you may know is you have got a good culture. You have got, to respect your parents, if you think. But how do you teach? You see, there is no school like you can send your children to the college or what. There's people to teach you there. But you are just a family. So I have thought of that. So how do I teach my children? At that time, I don't know, you see. I just have to follow what my mom said. But like now, there are certain things you missed out because, you're in the younger generation, you're in a different world. We grew up in the East, now we are in the West, you see. So certain things you may think, it's not necessary. But how do we teach all this to the children? You see, to me, we can teach we have to teach the children, by encouraging them to read the Peranakan books. That's one, Of course, by joining this association like PAA, it's only by joining them that you see other people and then you can also discuss and say, hey, is this correct? Oh, I'm doing this for my household. Are you doing that also? You see, you can discuss, you see. But if you don't have an association, who do you go to?
Exactly.
You see, so this is the value of PAA, Yes, so that's how I sometimes encourage people, why don't you join, But they say, well, I'm not a Peranakan. Even if you're not a Peranakan, you can learn something, there's some good values of the Peranakan,
yes,
right?
Yes.
PAA is not only dancing and doing all this sort of thing, but as you said now, it's the value that is more important. So this is one place where you can teach the people.
Yes, and that's what I said in the first episode as well, that it's hard for us to live our culture by ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? So you have it with your family, but you need your community and you need your kaki for
That's
you
right.
to
so,
live it out.
Yeah. So reading the Peranakan books is one of them. There are a lot of Peranakan books that has been written now.
Yes.
So that is to encourage them and then joining the Peranakan Association and also encourage people to establish, because there are a lot of places in Australia that there are Peranakans. You see, one of them is in Canberra. There are a few of our even cousins that are there, but they don't have an association there. So just try and ask them to encourage them to start one. Then you can have in Canberra, you can have one in Brisbane. I'm sure there are plenty of Peranakan in Brisbane. Yes. So we are fortunate here, we got one, so we can go. So my idea is to establish more. And that's how we can spread. Yeah.
Absolutely. And especially for the ones in Australia, if you need advice on how to establish one, you can always contact us.
Yes. We will always help, yes,
we will always help you establish one. And it doesn't have to be something really difficult. It can be something as simple as, let's have a meetup first.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised as to how many Peranakans are out there. We're everywhere.
There's a Peranakan is spread all over the world now.
That's right.
Yeah, even not only in Australia, in Europe, in France. Also, we got cousins in France, in Switzerland. So it's a matter of whether you can try and gather them and start. You see? So that's how I started in Melbourne, and just from a few people.
Just a handful of people.
In fact, I must give credit to Peter Wee, because he's the one who really encouraged me to start. Because I also thought that, it's impossible to start one here. We don't have anything and all that. But it's not all that bad, you know. If you're interested, we can always help you.
Yes.
Yes.
Fantastic. Moving on to the next value that I wanted to talk to you about is the creative cultural expression. And this could be in the form of the food, the dress, the dancing, the singing, the stories. What are the expressions of culture in our household when you were growing up?
Yes, it's the same thing, you know, and then this is what actually our PAA is trying to do, right? You know, when we had the exhibition, we demonstrate our food, we demonstrate the kabaya, the sarong, we give talks to them, and then we exhibit all this, you know. The art like Kasok Mane, and I'm glad that, you know, our Peranakan has also started a class.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Started it.
Oh, that's good. You see, so this is good. We got to get some people with passion like you who can start. I'm hoping that we get more people like you so that, I mean, it's not easy for you to deal with everyone. So some people who are interested in food can go and specialize in food and think about it and get a small group and really propagate about Peranakan food. I think that is one of the best things because everybody likes a Peranakan food, right? So the other thing is about the dress, you see. Another group can do that. And you are doing the Kasok Mane, which is good. And also, Allison is doing for the young people, but it started with Joe, which I also very grateful to him. Joseph Tien and Margaret, you know. So these are all the passionate people in PAA.
Yeah,
you see. And then they are doing the performances, you see. So, and mind you, you know, singing and dancing, you know, maybe people say that, oh, what is this Peranakan? Maybe only singing and dancing, you know, what's there? Nothing much. Any social cult also do singing and dancing. Yeah, but we are doing the singing and dancing of the cultural group, sort of, not just ordinary dance that you are doing. And if you study further, deeper, all cultures has got their own dances and singing, you know.
Yes.
Absolutely. You see, even the old culture, like the Aboriginal culture, which is about 4,000 years ago or 6,000 years ago, they still play the didgeridoo and all that, and that is from the forefathers. So this is being carried on. Yes. So singing and dancing is part and parcel of our culture. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we must not forget that, you know. Mm-hmm. So this is, when we do the singing and dancing, we are reviving the culture. Yes. You know? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So every culture is there.
Promoting it even more around, you know, all the festivals. So throughout the year, we're actually really busy, and we're so very lucky to be invited to all the festivals around Melbourne to sing and dance and promote our culture, to actually say that we exist, that this unique culture exists. And in the West, it's celebrated. Like, people love it.
That's right. So that's why we've been invited. Yeah, that's why we've been invited by so many things.
Yes, and we're so vibrant. We bring our vibrancy into the community.
And you also mentioned about storytelling.
That's right.
Yes. How can you tell a story? Some people say, I don't know to listen to your grandmother's story, right? But storytelling can sound very superficial. Nothing much, you know. I do not want to know about your story. I mean, you know, your story is your story, finished, you know. Mm-hmm. But that is another thing where our culture has been promoting. Like what? Like our Peranakan plays that they have been doing. Like the performances which Chi Hu Seong and Datuk Kenny Chan has been performing in the last generation. It happened, or even before that, you know, people like GT Lai and all that, they are the ones, they are the pioneers for all this, and they are still doing it.
Yes.
You know, Alvin Woon is still doing it, you know. Gunung Sayang is still doing it. And Gunung Sayang, mind you, is 100 years old, or more than 100 years old, I would say. So they are still maintaining the culture. So credit must be given to them, you know. So this is the thing, when you say storytelling, it can be superficial when you read it, but it is very deep into it. It is from this place that you get all the stories.
That's right.
Of the Peranakan, what happened to the mother-in-law and all that. They were all sort of very cruel, sort of thing. So, you know, and then their patois, you see the way they talk, the language. So they are maintaining that, you see.
Yes.
If you want to learn, to me, if you want to learn the patois, the best is to get a few videos and listen to that. So that is the correct way of talking, the exact way of their talking. So it is wonderful, you know.
And to actually be in a play,
Yeah.
to actually learn the language through the play as well is actually a medium that people can use to learn the culture, to learn the language, to learn how to wear kabaya.
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
And to learn it the correct way through these plays. So they are very, very important. And I love the fact that Gurun Sayang now is promoting it all through the younger generation as well.
The younger generation are also now, trying to perform and all that. You see,
and they do it differently.
And the young people like Simon and all that, they are the one that is, following up.
Very happy to be called young. But yes, absolutely. Comedy is another way.
Yes.
Right? Comedy is, they might, we might be laughing our heads off watching them.
At the same time, we are learning the culture.
We are learning the culture.
Isn't it?
So I think that this expression is part of the way culture is shaped. Yes.
So this is the thing. If in fact, I suggested this to Margaret, if we can, have a short play, because Margaret is very much involved in it. Margaret, do you remember? I don't know whether you know that. She was involved in one of the plays called Pilih Menantu.
She shared it in the first episode.
That's good. You see, so she's got some experience. So we must encourage people like that to come and do something.
Yeah.
Yes. And then from our monthly activity, sometimes they have a skit and all that. So that's only a start. So we can elaborate on that.
Yeah.
Yes. So have a thought. These are the things, you see.
And I think the younger generation, the next gen are actually interested in that kind of thing as well.
Yes.
Just a project.
Yeah.
For example, when we had our exhibition and our wedding performance a few years ago, they really wanted to be involved.
Yeah.
And now we've actually got next
people
who want to be involved because being in a play and being in part of a dance troupe, being part of the choir, they actually enjoy that.
Yes. So the other thing is the other aspect of singing and dancing is Donan Sayang. Donan Sayang is a living culture, Living culture means it's still being done. It's in places like Penang and Malacca. People still singing Donan Sayang. In Penang, they have got bus trips or for the Cap Gome and all that. They still sing Donang Sayang and all that, And so although our people may not know anything, even I can't sing a Donang Sayang song. It's very difficult to do. But we can invite. So this is only my suggestion, for the PA to think about all this. You are in the committee, you see. So you can invite people from Malacca or what to come and talk about Donang Sayang and play some Donang Sayang for us to listen, not from the tape. Because we got still people there. If we got nobody else, then we got to resort to tape,
Yeah.
So why don't we invite them? Just like now, I think you're all inviting Angeline Kong to come and talk something about Manik-Manik, is it? And I also know a professor, who wrote the book about the culture of Manik-Manik. So we should invite these people to come. You see, they are the authorities, you see. Yeah.
Yes.
So these are the things where we can do,
Yes.
Yeah.
It's interesting you said about the Donang Sayang. I find that pantons are poetries that we put in our songs, poems, but they've got some moral value in it.
There's a lot of meaning in the pantun itself, but you got to know the patois before you can understand what they're talking about. You see?
But isn't that a way to learn the patois?
Yes,
right?
yes.
That would be a cool way. Yeah. So one of the things that I remember dearly back in our household when I was growing up is after dinner, and usually we have other people around where we would invite our friends or our family, extended family. And after our makan, someone would jump on the piano, and then someone would jump on the guitar, and then before long, there's singing, and then we would joget.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, of course. Even in our house, I mean, my father got a small house, not a big house, you see. Even then, they will come and crowd, and after the makan, this thing will happen, you see. And this is how we learn all the songs, you see, like Gigi Semut and Rasa Sayang and all that, because they've all been sung by our forefathers or father and mother. And then that's how we learn.
Yes.
Yeah, we just follow them, you see. So this is good.
And that's how we learn how to joget.
Yes.
And that's how we learn how to, play some of the instruments as well. Because as kids, we just be roped into it.
Yes, right. Yes.
Yes. I do have a comment from the poll about this value.
That'd be good.
Creative cultural expression by writing stories of my lived experiences, keeping the culture and memories alive and creating awareness. I thought that really summed up what you just said. Everything that we just talked about. And I am thankful that this person knows the importance of writing these stories, capturing these stories. And that's another reason why I want to do this recording.
Yeah.
Because you hold a lot of stories and there's a lot of nuggets of wisdom and experience as we grew up in our Peranakan household.
Yeah, but, you cannot depend on 1 or 2%.
No.
That's why we're trying to encourage. This podcast is good because many people will come and listen to it. Many people have got other talents, so they don't know how to show the talent. So they can always come and tell you. One of them is my own brother-in-law, Yi Tiang Heng.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sure you know that now he's writing a book.
Yes.
And I have been trying to ask him to write a book because he is also a true blue Baba and he's a lawyer. He can write well. So he's got all the things there, but he hasn't been writing. And only last year, he started to write. Yeah, the title will be Farewell to Heron Street. Why? Because he said, many people has left Heron Street. So the book is coming out. It's in the process now. So read these type of books. When I say read about Peranakan, these are all the stories of his experience, of his observations, So it's wonderful. So we must encourage other people to write that. Everybody actually has got a story to tell.
Yes.
Yeah. So why not we do it, this way? Encourage our members to write.
Yeah.
Maybe, a short story, then we can compile it into a big book, right?
Yes.
So these are the things we can do. There's a lot of things we can do, yes. But it takes a bit of organization
And I guess when we read these stories, a couple of things happens. Yes, you're right. We learn about the culture. We learn about what other people have experienced. But another thing that happens is, I believe, we start to resonate. We start to relate to what they have experienced because we have gone through the same thing. And so suddenly we don't feel as lonely. It's
That's
not
right.
like we don't...
You're by yourself.
By ourselves.
Yeah, isn't it?
So, someone else had gone through the same experience. So that is a very beautiful connection that happens when we tell our stories. So the thing is to actually have the courage to tell the stories, right? Okay, and that's a really nice segue into the next value, which is connection to roots and heritage. And this one, I feel that it's an important thing that we need to talk about because a lot of us have either moved away or one of the big things that I think is a disconnection within the family because it could be because family members have passed or because there's been divorce or maybe a breakup.
Even by migrating here. That is a big disconnection, right?
Big disconnection.
Yes, we cannot do whatever we used to do. Yeah,
Yes.
But I think I touched on that a little bit, about reading the books and joining the PAA and all that. So now we have got a PAA here, we must encourage those people who want to learn, come and join us. So this is where you can learn. And not only PAA, mind you, because, our Peranakan Association organizes conferences every year, right? Like this year will be in Penang. Convention, yeah, So this is again, when you're a member, you get to know, not that you don't know, but sometimes, you're not aware. Yeah, but when you are in PAA, everybody talk about it. So, end of the year, this year we're going to Penang for the convention. So you have the chance to to participate. So that is where you learn a lot about things about Peranakan, all within the weekend,
Yes.
For about 3 days a weekend that you go there. You probably learn more than your 3 months by yourself.
Yes.
Or 3 years
It's
by
immersive.
yourself. Yes.
It's immersive experience.
Yeah. And then you see everybody is doing the same thing, That's what a culture is all about. It's wonderful. You are from somewhere else and, somebody from Phuket doing the same thing as somebody from Singapore.
Yes.
So that is the culture. That's how the culture is there. So it's wonderful to have a look,
Yes.
See, they cook the pong teh, but they don't call it pong teh. We call it pong teh. But when you taste, it's exactly the same, It's
that
a pong
is
teh.
amazing.
It's a Thai pong teh,
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So it's wonderful to observe all this, not just to go there and participate and enjoy and your 3 days of enjoyment too, but at the same time, there's a lot of things to learn.
Absolutely.
Yes, a lot of things to learn, how you perceive the whole thing.
Yes.
Yes.
I go there to connect with our kaki, right?
Yeah, there's also a connection, you see.
Yes. Yes, and you learn so much
from other people, So not only PAA, you must see, it's a big thing. You're connecting so many other associations, Singapore, Malacca, Indonesia,
Yes.
It's wonderful. I think, the person who actually I think it's Datuk Ko Kek Siu who started it in 1988, And then from then on, every year we had this convention. It's wonderful, yes.
I remember going to the first one.
Mm.
And then I didn't go for a long, long time.
Yeah,
And just recently had a resurgence and absolutely love it.
No, I don't blame you. I have noticed what you have been doing. You were interested in Peranakan, but there comes a time where in part of your life that you're busy. You got to study. You got to get married. You got to go and work. So that takes preference rather than our culture or whatever it is, right? But now that you're more settled, Toby is bigger now. He can look after himself. So you come back to it because you have already got the passion.
Yes.
So this is the main thing,
Yes.
So if you want to teach your children, you first must know yourself. You must have that passion. You must learn about all this first. Then only you can teach them.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. How was it when you were growing up? What kept you rooted in your heritage?
Well, that's a good question, huh? So when I was young, I never thought anything about Peranakan. Although I have to do this, I have to do that. My mom is very strict, as you know. But I was not impressed, to tell you frankly. In fact, I was embarrassed to be a Peranakan. Why? Because my mom asked me to go and buy something in the shop, which is only a walking distance. She said, hey, please go and buy for me some bawang. I'm short of bawang. I said, no, Mom, I don't want to go. Next time you go shopping, you buy. He said, why? I'm short of bawang. You go and buy. I said, I don't want to go and see the shopkeeper there because he's a Chinaman, right? So every time I go there and buy something for you, he always asks me, are you a Chinese or a Malay? I say, I'm a Chinese. He said, why you Chinese cannot speak Chinese? I've got no answer for him. And that's why I say I'm very embarrassed. I don't know whether I'm a Chinese or I'm a Malay or what. What is Peranakan? I don't know. I was just a schoolboy, right? I don't know what's Peranakan. So that's why I was very shameful to be a Peranakan. Not until I grew up, then I studied about Peranakan. As I say, I do some reading. I see their values and all this sort of thing. So now, I know about what is Peranakan. As you said, now you can even ask me some questions because I've been studying it. I have written 2 books on my genealogy, on my family.
Yeah.
I have started a Peranakan association.
Yeah.
I have got to know more because, when you're the head, you have got to know more. People ask you, so what is this, so what is that? So I do my own research. So this is the reason why now I'm proud Peranakan. No more like those days when you don't know. That's why I say when you're ignorant, you don't know.
We've got one more value, but I'd like to say the comments from the poll in relation to the connection to the roots and heritage. Someone said that
speaking with elders, understanding their background, what they do, why they do it, and some things are done out of habit. With traditional food, clothing, and activities involved, our children will have an impression and knowledge of the culture, even if they do not identify it now. And I think that speaking with elders is one of those things, bridging that gap between the generations, is having that connection to our roots and heritage. And to ask them questions. I think we need to ask more questions, rather than assuming how things are meant to be or how things have become. Rather than assuming, we need to ask more questions. So why is this done this way? What is the story behind this ritual or this tradition? And I think that elders might need to face the challenge in answering those things because we want to learn. I found that the next gen are keen.
Yep.
We are keen to learn.
Yes.
So, I like to see that gap being bridged a little bit more between the generations.
Yeah, that is one of the ways where you can learn a bit more. You got to bridge this gap. And this is where the other thing that you have done for PAA is to get the young people to come.
Yes.
You see? Because when you only have the elders, nobody will ask them question. Everybody knows about what it's all about. So that's it. Right? But now you got the young people, they will be asking. But my experience is that, in a PAA, they will try, because everybody knows that we got to teach them something. So they are more open. But I have got experience where I go to this old lady, maybe my auntie or my grand auntie. I ask them certain things,
Yeah.
There are a few things. One, they may be a bit old, they forget.
Yes.
So I said, I have come a bit too late.
Yeah.
So that's one factor. You cannot get anything from them.
Yeah.
They can't remember. You see, too late already. Secondly, they do not want to tell you. Because why? They said, why you want to know about this? This is not necessary. It's not, Because they assume that you should know about all this. Yeah, not necessary for you to know. You see, why are you so kepo? You want to know about this and all that,
Yes,
I mean, they've got that mentality.
Yes.
So I have interviewed a lot of people, because of my research and all that. So some of these things say, no, you don't have to know all this. You just...
And some are very secretive about their recipes.
But you talk about recipes, some of them say, no, I cannot give you this recipe. This is my own family recipe and all sort of things. So you meet these type of people,
Yes.
So again, an association is good because they know why we are becoming the association. We want to learn from the association. Then they are forward enough to give you what you want to know.
Yeah.
You see, like that day when you launched the podcast, people like Auntie Yan and, all these people, they just speak out. Yes. So that's good. You see, so that's again, the benefit of having an association.
Yes.
I think we are lucky that we have an association in Melbourne.
Yes. Well, thanks to you. Because you started.
Well, I never thought that it's going to be so vibrant and the interest is there.
Yes.
I'm happy that, this thing happens. Yes. But when I started it, I never thought that this. I thought it's going to be a small one and that's it.
Yes.
We're going to fizzle out.
Yes.
But I think many people want to know their own culture now.
Absolutely.
You see? Yes.
And I also found that the elders have said to me time and time again that they have been learning from us.
That's
from
another
the
thing.
Young people.
Yes. You see, now the people are more open, Like during my father's time, when you talk to the old people, they always think that you don't know anything. Yeah, they are.
Yes.
They always say, I've taken more grains of salt than you, Yes, but I think that is the policy. You see, that is their mistake. We can always learn from each other, even from a young people, not only young, even somebody who is not as well educated as you and all that. They may have something that they know which you don't know. You see. So absolutely. I believe in that, that is the main thing. Yes.
Absolutely. Now, the fourth value, which is inclusivity and welcoming others. I see this a lot in our Mata Kuching house. Mata Kuching is the street, the suburb, I guess, where I came from, where I was brought up. And we see a lot of people coming to our house. And Mama used to cook, but there's always visitors. Tell me about your experience in respect to how it was like and how inclusive it was and how welcoming.
Are you talking about our household or we are talking about PAA? Yeah.
Well, we'll start with the household. You were brought up.
Household is, I think the household, about you when you say inclusivity and all that, it all depends on the householder.
Yes.
Right? Like now, I mean, that time was my father and mother. If somebody who is not friendly and all that, I don't think anybody will go. But in my household, I know my mom is also very sociable, and I suppose that's why I also and my brother become a bit more sociable. We talk to anybody that we can, and we try to help anybody. So we follow them, and because of their characteristic, so many people like to come. And on top of that, mom can cook very well, so she will cook, and then they will all love to come.
Yes. To
come and have dinner and this sort of thing, and she's very generous also. She will always like to cook, And I think basically the Nonyas are very generous, especially if they can cook well. They would like to show that they can cook also. If they can do the kasih money, they would like to show you that, this is what I do, you see. And then they do very good work.
And they used to give it as gifts.
Yeah, so then you see, even like my mom, she sews her own kabaya and all that, So she will always show. So our household is very inclusive. I mean, what I mean is people like to come lah.
Yes.
People like to come. So my dad also is not a very angry type of person that people don't like. He's friendly and he accepts everybody to the house. So our house is welcome to everyone.
Yes. Do you think that's a Peranakan trait?
Basically, I am.
Yes.
Yeah. You see, it's not only my parents. I see a lot of Peranakan, but some of them are, of course, a bit indifferent.
Yeah.
You see, they are more exclusive. They do not want to, and especially the very rich Peranakan, they are very exclusive. They think that they are, a bit above than the rest, you see.
Yeah, but that's in every culture.
Yeah.
That's not just
so,
culture.
Yeah. I think so, even in the Western culture. So,
yes.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
They used to say that these are the people who are called Mem God. So,
Yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're talking about, my household. I just tell you about my household. But I want to tell you about our PAA.
Yes.
So you can see that, if you ask me about the welcoming and inclusivity and all that, I think we must take PAA as an example. You see? I think everybody, when I invite them to come and see what PAA is all about, before I never ask them to come and join. I always come and say, you want to know about Peranakan? Come as my guest. And I think that everyone that has come never say that, it's lousy. They've always enjoyed themselves, and I can bet you that you can get anybody that to come, they will say the same thing. So we are very welcoming to everybody, and then they also feel good. And that is, I think, you can see the result. That our membership is growing.
Yes.
If we have been, sort of very unwelcome, I think nobody will come.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. So I like to stress it rather on the household, but on the broader tongue is our own community.
Yes.
Yes, and I think that's one the thread of this thing. We are always very welcoming. So even you go to Malacca, they say, I love Malacca. I say, what's in Malacca? At that time, Malacca was just, it's a people, they make you feel welcome. Even then, like you tourists, sometimes you don't even know how to get there. They will tell you, I will take you, I will walk with you there, These are the things that make you feel good. Make you feel want to come again, right?
Yes.
So this is the thing, yeah.
I think it's in our nature, just looking at Peranakan history, for our culture to evolve the way it did, because we had the Malay culture and we had the Indonesian culture, of course, the Chinese and Portuguese, we had all these culture influences, right, in the Peranakan culture itself. So for us to have those influences, we would have had to make connections with people from other cultures. And so, which tells me that
cross cultures.
We are inclusive of other cultures, and now I see with PAA we want to call out people from, especially like the Peranakan Portuguese and the Peranakan Chinese to come. If they're in Melbourne, come and look us up.
Yes, and join us.
Because we want to hear your stories and gain perspectives of how you live out as Peranakans. So that's something that I hope will happen in PAA. A comment from the poll. This is quite deep, actually. This person shared that, I think it's important to accept and embrace shared cultures rather than rigidly defining what makes me uniquely Peranakan Christian in a way that creates walls instead of bridges. This is something I hope to live out well. So what he's saying that instead of making us so unique and exclusive, that we then put out walls rather than bridges, then there's just no, there's no way of growth.
That's right.
No promoting, no continuity if we have walls around us. So I love what she said, or whoever this person is, to accept and embrace shared cultures.
Yeah, I think we already do that. As you said, we accept, or we welcome, not only we accept, but we welcome Peranakan Chiti, Peranakan Portuguese, you see, and then
the Thai Peranakans,
yes,
the Indonesian Peranakans.
Yes, so so we've got Indonesian Peranakan in our midst, right?
Yes.
We got Portuguese Peranakan in our midst.
Yeah,
but we have not had a Chiti Peranakan, have we?
No.
Yeah, so
they're hard to find in Melbourne.
Yeah.
But we definitely are connected to the Chiti Peranakans in Malacca. And
you have been to the restaurants and all that, right? And so we love it, you see. So we know. So definitely we are, not building walls, but we are welcome.
That's wonderful.
I mean, we have done pretty good, but there's still room for improvement, I think. In everything, everything you can still improve if you want to improve. So my hopes for PAA, are for members to express more acts of generosity, which could be done in the form of sponsorship. We got some people who really can afford, so they can come out and give some, sponsorship. You see, maybe example that they may like the kasut manik-manik. You see, they can come and say, okay, I will give you some money to sponsor whatever activity you're doing. So you can say that, okay, what we want to do now, we are inviting Angeline Kong to come. Maybe you can, maybe not by yourself, but maybe you can get a few more people who like to sponsor her airfare or something like that. Or even half her airfare. Yes. I mean, something to help out,
Yes.
And that, by sponsoring that, Angeline Kong can influence a lot of people there on kasut manik-manik.
That's right.
Yeah. So we got another one who is, as I showed you, this professor who wrote this book. You can sponsor her to come. Maybe I say, okay, we will sponsor some money, and then, this can go towards her hotel bill. Something like that. So again, we can learn a lot from her. You see? So this is only one example. So we can do a lot. Or somebody who can demonstrate how to do kueh chang or something like that. So we can sponsor her, and ask her to, buy some kueh chang or whatever it is. We can think a lot of other things, Yes. Sponsorship, that sponsorship. Or you can ask, you can also do some trust funds, That's a bigger thing, Yeah. So these are the things that just out of my mind, I just don't, to fund our activities,
Well, bigger projects.
So
for example, like if we wanted to do a play.
Yeah.
That's going to require quite a lot of work.
That's right. because, you cannot just depend on the ticket.
No.
Because when you do that, you're not sure whether you can be successful or not.
Yeah.
Because if you can't sell the ticket, so what happened, right?
Yes.
But if you have somebody, a trust fund or something like that, they will say, okay, you don't worry. Now, I will give you this trust fund, for every year I'll give you a certain amount of money. You put in a trust fund. So when you want to do this, you can use your trust fund. Then people can put in some more, is it?
Yeah,
So,
because at the end of the day, it's really about sustaining the country and promoting the country.
Yes. But we need some money to do that.
That's right.
So that is the thing. So for our members to be more generous, that's what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then in return, the PAA itself, our organization must also, to me, must also donate to some worthy organization of our choice. Some people may like the Cancer Society, some people may like the Eye Society or whatever, Eye Foundation. Of our choice, you can discuss this at a committee meeting at that level, and then you can maybe donate something. We don't have to donate every month, or maybe once a year we give some donation to, so something like that. So we must practice some acts of generosity. I think that is a really good virtue to follow.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know about a not-for-profit organization donating to another. I think there's legalities.
Yeah, of course. I have discussed this with a few people, and this is their problem.
Yes.
But I think we can easily overcome that.
You know what? I love when your ukulele group, when the performers, when they get together, they go to the, aged care.
So this is
to the people. They make them feel so happy. It's not in a monetary donation, but they donate their time.
Yes.
And everyone has a great time.
Yes,
because they enjoy it.
Yes, and this is why actually I started my ukuleles because of this. Because our auntie is in the nursing home, and that's how I started. So I find that there's a lot of satisfaction playing for them. They're happy just for that hour. You find that, everybody dancing and all that, so yes. So anyway, so that is one thing, just to be a bit more generous. Both, members as well as PA can do it and whatever it is it?
Yeah. And what would you like to see in the younger generation?
Oh, the younger generation, that's it. Yes, I think the younger generation is very important to PAA. Without the younger generation, nobody to continue, right? It's just like the human race, in fact, You got to have the young people, to take over, right? So, to me, the younger generation should make themselves interested. Then only they can learn. If you're not interested, in anything, you'll never learn. And if you never learn, how are you going to teach your younger generation? Your younger generation.
Yeah, our kids.
Yes. So you must have that passion. So then I want to come to the conclusion, about this fact about younger generation.
Yeah.
You see, the mission statement should be continuity of our Peranakan heritage. You see, that continuity, you must be interested. You must have the passion. You see, it's not necessary. If you want our glorious past, our culture, not to be forgotten, so that should be your commitment. But the continuity of the heritage. You see, but to have the continuity, you must have the passion. You see, it's only when you like to play the piano that you will learn the piano. And then when you like the piano, you will teach your children to play the piano. But if you don't like the piano, you don't have the passion, you never like the piano. So how do you expect you're going to teach your children? You can just send them to your piano school and all that, but there's no guarantee. But like now, you have the passion, you are doing it of your own time and all that, our own effort. So the chances that your children will follow will be good. You see, so this is what I like to see in the young generation. So it's not necessary for us to rethink or relearn or reinvent our culture. It's already there.
Yeah.
All you have to do is to learn a bit more and then be passionate about it. You see? So if you have that, I don't think the culture will, disappear in no time.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
I think what you say is true, but I feel like there's something deeper than just interest in fashion.
Yeah.
The reason why I am passionate is because I now truly identify myself as a Peranakan. And I know it sounds really bizarre that I come from a Peranakan family, so therefore the assumption is that I have lived as a Peranakan for a long time, but that's not the case. Before I came here to Melbourne, I was a kid, so I just did what I was told to do. All right, that is just obedience. All right. Then when I came here, I lived with you in Mulgrave, and I grew up as a teenager. But I was very much influenced by the Aussie way of living. And the only time I was a Peranakan was when I came to visit you or just at home. But when I'm out there doing my work, going to uni, going out with friends, I'm very Aussie. Okay? And I don't think about my Peranakan ways until mom calls me and says, hey, I'm making popiah, you want to come or not? Right? I said, oh, yes, okay. Or when you started PAA, that was when I go, okay, I've got a chance to wear my kabayas. But that was very minimal. And it wasn't until just recently, only a few years ago, when I thought I forgot the taste of Mama's masak lemak nanas.
Udang masak lemak.
Yeah. I thought I forgot the taste. And it freaked me out because then I started thinking, if I don't live out who I truly am, I will forget it.
That's right. Yes.
Because in my household, not your household, but my household, so I started my own household, I wasn't living out my Peranakan-ness. And it wasn't until I had joined PAA and joined the committee and then pioneered the next gen Peranakan and created my own kaki, that was when I began to really live out this part of me.
Yeah.
But it was there, it was in there, dormant.
You still, that's why I say you have the passion, but you just had no time to.
Or no context.
Yeah, that's it,
To really live it out.
To live it up, you see? Yes.
So I believe that a lot of the next gen, if you feel like there are questions in there of how you can live out your Peranakan values or your Peranakan-ness, let's talk about that.
Yeah. So this is the media.
That's right.
So this is the media. Write to us, write to you,
us.
yes, and then question us, Yes. So
We've been there before.
we can brainstorm,
Yes.
the thing. Yes. So this is good,
Yeah.
So I would recommend every Baba and Nyonya also to read something about your forefathers. That is the thing. This is how I started actually also, I read a lot about it, but there's a magazine, 115 years of Peranakan in Malacca. So when they celebrated their Tua Seji 115 years, they produced a very good magazine. And in that magazine, you can get it. Somebody wrote about the Peranakan, our forefathers, what happened to them. And mind you, she is not even a Peranakan. Yes.
Writer.
The writer. She's not even a Peranakan. There's another person in Malacca who I know very well also. And he came to see my ancestor home and all that, because he was so interested in ancestor worship. And he's also not a Peranakan, but he has a lot of knowledge about all this. So this is the thing. So if we Peranakan do not want to even take the trouble to read all this, it is shameful. And then, we cannot expect just things to happen. We got to put in some effort, read ourselves, then you get, interested what is so good about it, what's so unique about it. So I want to list out to you what are the things some of our forefathers has done.
Absolutely.
And then this is written in that book, in that magazine. Go and have a look, but I think that is one of the best magazines that has actually stirred me up, to be more interested, to be proud of what I am today, So these are the few examples what the Baba pioneered, and so the Babas pioneered the tin industry, starting from the tin industry. Before that, they got some trade, but these are the recorded things. So you cannot deny it. It's recorded. What is before not recorded, we do not know. So it's the tin industry, the rubber industry. Even the tea industry started in Malacca, They have a tea industry, but the tea industry started in Malacca. The Malaysian tea industry, you see. The banking industry, the shipping industry, the education system, the use of electricity started by a Baba. Mind you can read all this. The architecture, the social and religious leadership, all started by the Babas. The political arena, and of course the philanthropic aspirations of the Baba. You see, that's why, I just, in conclusion now, I think we can conclude that I am very proud to be a Baba.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your stories. And thank you. I am so grateful that for a lot of things. Of course, I am grateful that you're my dad, my father, and you've taught us well. And, but also I'm grateful that you've instilled values in us. And you started PAA. I think that if anything, that's something I will always remember, that you started PAA, and because of that, I found my kaki.
Yep.
And I also thank you for listening to us, for listening to the younger generation.
Oh yes, I think we have to listen to them because we cannot overrule them and say that just like a past generation, we know more than you. If you want to help them, you got to listen to them.
Yes.
What they want. You see? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And culture is very layered. There's, it's not just the one thing that we hold on and we want to keep it. There's, as we have talked about today, it's about values, right? The values that we hold. But it's also a practice, right?
We have to
So
practice it. That's right. Yes. The continuity is.
It doesn't have to be perfect either. It just needs to be done. It just needs to be done daily, right? And that would actually embed into our character. We start to become it, right? It becomes part of who we are. And then there's the collective behavior, which is when we come together as a community, as a family, a community. We interact with one another in the Peranakan way of being. And so I just want to thank you for sharing what you shared, because it's given us a lot of food for thought. And I'm learning that there is no one way to live culture. It's the values that anchor us, but how we want to live out those things is really up to
the individual,
the individual families, and we're here to talk about it. We're open to questions, and we don't have all the answers. We can't say that, but as we talk about it and discuss it, we might find the answers together.
Yeah, we still got elders where we can find out.
Exactly.
We are not the best. So we can always find out. Can read some more books. What happened here and there.
So thank you, Pa, for joining us, and thank you for sharing your stories. And I'd like to also thank the listeners for listening. And until we meet again at the bridge, till next time.
Yeah, but thank you also for doing this. I think this is a good project.
Thank you.
As I reflect on this conversation with my dad, I'm reminded that culture is about so much more than food, clothing, language, or traditions. Those things are important. They are expressions of culture. But beneath them are the values that shape how we live, how we treat each other, how we welcome others, and how we stay connected to our roots. What stood out to me is that culture isn't something we simply inherit. It's something we practice. And through that practice, it becomes part of who we are. I'd like to thank my dad, Alfred Chi Teck Yam, for sharing his stories, reflections, and experiences with us today. And I'd also like to thank everyone who participated in the poll that helped shape this conversation. Before we go, I'd like to leave you with a question. What cultural value has shaped your life the most, and how are you living it out today? We love to hear your thoughts and stories. Until next time, keep the conversation going, and we'll meet here again at the bridge.